Good morning, dear people. Good morning, Facebook. Thank you for joining me. It is morning time. It's Monday morning. This is our second week of T minus 10 minutes with Shay Cannon. That's your favorite fractional chief operating officer. And what I'm doing is I'm trying to give you more information, more value, more things you can use in your business operations or your business management. So I've been meeting here, right here at 7 a.m. Eastern time each Monday through Thursday to give you new pieces of information for you to consider so that your business runs better, so that your business grows. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for joining me. And what's going on is I usually start with a blog post that I release on Sunday night. So I did, true to the schedule, create a blog post last night. It is on shaycannon.com /roles. That's ROLES. Good morning, Cheryl. I can see your name because you typed it. Good morning. And so I have something special going on today. I've added a new component to our morning lives in that I have a listening room on Clubhouse. So the Clubhouse can listen in to the value that I'm giving you guys too. And so that's something new that I'm doing. I told you my mission is to help more people with more things in more places. So Facebook, you got me live. Clubhouse has me live on audio only. It's a listening room. And so that's something new that I'm doing. But let's get into the value for today. Okay, the value for today. I did a few things in this week's blog post, and I called it three lessons, three, one, two, three, that I learned from the old West about business. Okay, I tried to do a little storytelling so it would stay in your head the difference between some things in business because I feel like, good morning, good morning. I feel like that because some of us are missing the basics, we're kind of missing the boat. That's a zinger, right? Because some of us are missing the basics, we're kind of missing the boat. Um, so, this is what I want to say. When your business hits a certain revenue point or a certain profit point, say six figures, say seven figures, okay? That does not mean that your business scaled, okay? I don't think you heard me. Just because your business reached a certain revenue point, six figures, seven figures, whatever, does not mean that your business scaled. It means that it grew. Okay. You have more customers. You made more money. You know what I'm saying? You might even have more people. However, I have a specific definition for growth versus scale. Okay. A specific definition. Let me take a sip right quick. Oh, yeah. Okay. Now, let me tell you what that definition is. Growth in your business is more clients, more money, more inventory, more stuff, right? That's growth. All you need to meet the criteria of growth is more. More than you had is growth, okay? Scale is when your business can handle that growth with excellence because it is rooted in repeatable methods supported by systems and resources. Systems and resources, okay? That's scale. So you could be making all this money in your business, but you're not getting any sleep. You could be making all this money in your business, but you're tired as I don't know what. You can't think properly. You are overwhelmed. You can even have a team in your business and feel like you're still doing way too much work. All of these things, right? And so, what I need you to know is team is a resource. It's part of those resources that you need for scale, but you still need the team members that your business can have to service your clients excellently. Okay, that's still scale. So having a team alone is still not scale. All right, but let's go back. A part of those resources that I was talking about is people resources. If you were in corporate America, there's a whole department dedicated to it. It's called human resources, right? So having other people as a part of your business is the beginning of scale. But you have to have the right people. You have to have the right people. Last week we talked about doers, we talked about thinkers, and we talked about decision makers. Okay. A nice mix of those three is what helps you to scale without overwhelm. Okay. So I want to tell you about some operational people. Okay, some operational people. Now, every business can't afford the separation of roles, but I still want you to know what these roles are. Okay, I still want you to know what the roles are, but I want you to think of yourself, the CEO, as the visionary. Okay, you are the visionary. You come up with the vision that is the business or that guides the business. That's your main job, to have a vision. If you are a CEO without a vision, you probably have a business that's not going to be profitable. Okay, you have to have a vision. The second thing that you can do as a CEO is drive traffic to your business, right? You can be the visible component. You have a vision and you are the visual component of your business. So you are the rainmaker. You bring in the clients, okay? You are the one that goes and you speak or you pitch or you're in the Facebook ad, you're in the videos, you're doing the things that are visible, and people take your like, know, and trust, and they purchase and buy from your offers in your business. Okay. So that's two things you can do as a CEO. Let's talk about what you should not be doing as a CEO if you want to scale. Okay. What you should not be doing as a CEO is working in the business to the point that you are doing just as much work as everybody else. Okay? You're doing just as much work as everybody else. Now, let me tell you how I use the Old West and horses in a wagon drawn, by horses as an example so that you can remember this. Okay? So, you as the CEO in your business without a team or without the right team is you're walking, right? You're walking. Now, your destination is your vision, your goal for your company. So if you're by yourself and you're walking, it's going to take you longer to get to that vision, right? So you hire a team. Let's say your team is horses. It's a team of horses, okay? Horses are doers, and so they help you to do things in your business. However, some of you have hired horses, and instead of driving the horses to the vision, what you are doing is trying to walk along with the horses. You in there trying to do what the horse is doing to move the business forward. So now there's no guidance. There's nobody high level to see where everybody is going. There's nowhere high level to make sure we're on the right track. There's nobody high level to keep the vision, okay? Because you're down in the ditches and you're doing like the horses are doing. You're doing like your team is doing. Who is keeping us on track with the vision, okay? Now, let me drive it home even more, okay? I want to take a minute to go backwards. You know that most people who have horses, they outfit the horse with all the equipment they need before the horse starts running, right? They don't, while the horse is running, try to put on a saddle while the horse is going. They don't try to put on the bridle and the bit and all of those things while the horse is running. No, before they have the horse go off running, they equip the horse with everything they need. Same thing with your team. Don't wait until you hire a team and your team is off running before you start trying to equip them with what you need from them. You should have processes, procedures, and development and all of these things in place before they start running, before they're off to the races, right? Okay? Do you see this analogy? Now, let me go a step further. All right? Somebody has to know where the horses are going and keep a watch on where the horses are going. Okay? If you are the visionary, that's not you. Okay? That's not you. This is where operational roles come in. If you've ever seen a Western movie, there's a wagon, there's always somebody in the wagon, and then there's one to two people that are driving the horses, right? So if the horses is your team and we have a wagon and somebody is in the wagon, that's you, the CEO. You're in the wagon. Okay? You got the vision. You might even be waving right to the people, attracting more people to the wagon, right? You're attracting more people, but you're not supposed to be doing and you're not supposed to be steering. Okay? Now, if there's only one person on top of the wagon, that person is both steering the team and making sure everything is aligned with the vision or the roadmap to get to the destination, which is the vision. Are you getting this picture? Right? If you have two people on that wagon, one is focused on the horses and one is focused on where you're going. Guess what those roles are? The one focused on the horses is a business manager. They're focused on the team, managing the team. What does the team need to get us to the destination? If you have a business manager and a chief operating officer, that chief operating officer is looking at the map that they created to get to the destiny, your business plan, and they're making sure that where you're going with the team matches what's on that map. That's your chief operating officer. That's what I do, right? I work best when I can take the vision, make a plan for it, and make sure everybody stays on plan, right? Because anytime you're in the trenches doing the work, you cannot keep your eye on the vision. You cannot keep your eye on the vision if you're doing the work because you're head down doing the work. You can't even see where you're going. This is why so many of us as entrepreneurs and small business CEOs, we get off track. Before we know it, we're doing work we didn't intend to do. We've hired people that are not in line with getting us to the vision. Okay, some of y'all, that's your family and friends that you've hired in your business. Um, we're doing so much work that we don't even realize that we're not really hitting goals. We're just doing a bunch of work because there's nobody with their head up watching and making sure that everything is matching with the vision. Okay, so I hope that this story, this visual that you have of this team of horses being your team, right? As the CEO, you're in the carriage or the wagon, right? The wagon is actually your business. The team is driving forth to get you to the business. Okay, if you have a business manager, your business manager is making sure that the horses or the doers are getting you there. Do they have everything that they need? All right. The CEO, the chief operating officer, does not do, does not necessarily manage team unless you don't have a business manager. But what they do is they create the plan for the vision and they make sure everything stays on course with the vision. All right. So I hope that that gave a little more information on having a team, being a CEO, and what some operations roles are for your team. Yolanda says, goals out of sight, taking Jay to lift my head. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Because what we don't understand is the reason why a lot of you can't do content is because you're doing other things in your business. But that doesn't mean your business doesn't need content. So you need to find somebody to do to do the things that you can't do so that you can do the things that only you can do, right? Only you can do. For most of you, making content is your job. You have to appear in the content as the talent, okay? So you might not be the one to schedule it and all these things, but you at least have to appear. How are people going to have like, know, and trust if they never see you? And that's assuming that you are building a personal brand that drives traffic to your offer. All right. So this was great. I almost stuck to my 10 minutes today. I realized on Friday that I was going too long. Like those 15 minutes are quite a long time when you're trying to string them together for the recap on Friday. So I'll see you guys again in the morning. Again, the blog post is at shaycannon.com/roles. That's ROLES. I'll put the link in the comment below. But I want you to think about these things. I want you to use that visual to your advantage. As a CEO, what are you doing? Are you the horse? Are you driving the horse and you have the reins? Do you have the map and are you watching the vision? Or are you creating the vision and attracting to your business because you're not supposed to be doing all of it? All right. All right. I'll see you guys again in the morning for T minus 10 minutes with Shay, where I'm sharing with you all the things that I know about business operations, business management, and anything that makes your business. It is time for T minus 10 minutes with Shay, where your favorite fractional chief operating officer to small business CEOs is on here every Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. Eastern Time, to give you a little business banter, right? My goal is to give you more and more information that you can use in your business to grow your business, scale your business, get more money, have more freedom, okay? So, this week, we are talking about operations roles within your business. Operations roles within your business. Do you have your tea? You see, I have my tea. Good morning. Good morning. And so last week we talked about team members that are doers, team members that are thinkers, team members that are decision makers. Okay. And we even talked about the difference in them, right? How each is valuable in their own right. And then we talked about, the things that take power away from your thinkers and your thinkers and your decision makers. Then we talked about the things that empower your thinkers and decision makers. Well, we talked about that in a general way, right? This week, we're talking about actual operations roles in your business, okay? Yesterday, I gave you a good visual for how you should be thinking about operations roles, okay? So, you are the CEO and you are inside of a Western horse drawn wagon, okay? You're inside the wagon, all right? You had this vision. The vision is the wagon, okay? And you get to sit back and watch the vision go, or your only other job would be to wave at the crowd as you pass in your wagon, right? And get more eyes on the wagon, get more attraction to the wagon. Okay, that's your job as the CEO, right? And then you have the horses. The horses is your team of doers. All right, so the horses are the ones that's moving the wagon along. They're actually doing the movement. They're actually doing the thing that your business gets paid for. You have the doers in your business. Okay, so you got the CEO who is in the wagon. You have the horses that are taking the wagon forth, right? And the wagon is your vision. Now, you have two people on top of the wagon. One person has the reins of the horses. They are managing the horses according to going to the destination. The destination is the goal of your vision, right? It's the end. It's the end goal. So the destination is your end goal. You're the CEO in the wagon. You're waving and attracting more people to the wagon, to the vision. Okay. There are horses that are the team, right? And then you have someone that is driving the team. That's usually a business manager. Okay. That's your business manager. Now, where would I come in as a fractional chief operating officer? Well, guess what? I'm sitting right by the business manager with the map. Okay. Because before we left, what I did was, good morning, Yolanda. Thanks for joining me. What I did was I created the map based on the vision, and where we want to take the vision, right? So I created the map so the business manager can drive the team to the destination, right? And the team is doing the work to get us there. So that's your visual of these operations roles, right? That was a visual that I felt like could help you. It's very much illustrated in my blog post for this week at shaycannon.com/roles. That's ROLES. Okay, so you can go to the blog post. Good morning, and get the visual and get a little more explanation on that. We talked about that yesterday. Today, I want to take you out of the visual for it and give you some practical how it would really look like in your business. Okay. So again, you are the CEO. You are the creator of the vision. Okay. The only other job you have is that you are the visible representation of the business and the attractor of the clients. Okay. So you go out there and you bring people to the vision. That's what you do. CEO. You have the vision, you bring more and more people to the vision as the face of the visible part of the business. Okay. So you're done, right? My job as your fractional chief operating officer would be the keeper of the vision. Okay. So my CEOs tell me what the vision is. I make that vision mine. I create the plan for that vision. Okay. What that looks like in your business is I create structure and processes and everything that's driven by the vision. I would hire people, I would steer your team, whatever, high level, say this is what needs to be done. I would create the job descriptions for the team, all of those things, right? Now, as as the business manager, okay, and all of you won't have a business manager and a fractional COO, right? So some of these roles are going to be absorbed. Okay, some of them will be absorbed. But if I'm over here doing the high level structure of the vision, right, I will keep things in line with the vision. That might look like crisis management. That might look like, which is problems pop up. I come in, I solve the problems. The problems don't go to my CEO. My CEO don't deal with problems. That's my job, right? So I do crisis management. I do change management. When we say things are not going the way the vision should go, we need to make a change, right? I go back and check in with my CEO about the vision. We decide to change, and then I start the process of the change. So I manage that change, right? High level again. Um, I like to look at it as vision management. Okay, vision management. I'm doing some managing, but it's not the same as what our business manager would be doing. Okay, so let's go into if you had me and a business manager, what would the business manager be doing? Well, They're going to manage directly the people. So they're managing the team. So if you go back to the visual, they're the one with the reins that's steering the horses, right? I'm keeping my eye high level, making sure we're going the right way while she's sitting there and she's got the reins and you're making sure the horses are on the road the way they're supposed to be. I'm looking down the road, okay? Now, the biggest problem is if you are a solopreneur, okay, you have the vision, you're trying to attract people to the vision, you're trying to keep everything in line with the vision, and you're trying to do things for the vision, and you're trying to manage all the things for the vision. Do you see why, as a solopreneur, when it comes time to scale, not grow, there's a problem, right? There's a problem. I want you to think about how we as humans, if we're down in the weeds doing, right, we don't have that bird's eye view. So you may have be of course a long way before you ever realize, oh man, the vision is that way. But we're of course so far this way because nobody was looking high level to make sure we stayed on course with the vision. All right. This is why these things are important for scale. Yesterday, I gave you a definition of growth and scale. There's this myth out here that if you make a whole bunch of money, you've scaled your business. That's not true. You grew, okay? You grew, but if you're in your business tired, overwhelmed, stressed out, all of these things, you grew, you did not scale. Because scale is growth with excellence. Scale means you should have freedom in your business. Scale means that you have aces in their places doing things and you're not doing everything because that's not scalable. Okay? If you're doing everything, that's not scalable. All right? So today I'm giving you more and more things about the operations role. The CEO is the visionary, okay? The COO, which is me, right? Other people in my position, if we're high level and there's no other officer in operations, what we're doing, we're the keeper of the vision, right? The CEO gives it to us. We now own the vision. We make sure everything is in line with the vision. With the vision, okay? If you have a business manager under your COO or some type of leader under your COO, they are the driver of the vision. They go down low with, well, I shouldn't say low, but we're talking about a hierarchy of leadership. So they're at the bottom of the leadership ladder and they're down there paying attention to the doers. Okay? They report back up. How are the doers doing? Is the plan put in place working well from their point of view? What problems are they having? What changes do they suggest? Right? All of that doesn't go to my CEO, that comes to me. So I say, okay, maybe I need to readjust. And either I readjust or that shared leadership kicks in and I go to my CEO and I say, hey, this is what we planned. This is what's going on. This is what I recommend. What do you approve? So again, you as the CEO, you're supposed to be having the vision, okay? And putting eyes on the vision, being visible for your vision. You're not supposed to be doing. You're not supposed to be managing. Half of y'all should not be planning. You know that's not your strength. Okay? So yesterday I gave you the visual. Today I gave you some tangibles. Again, the COO plans the vision and stays high level to make sure everything is in line with that vision. Okay? And the business manager or other leaders, what they do is they focus on the doers. They manage the doers. They manage the data from the doers. Okay. They manage the administration and clerical stuff for the vision. And they pop all that information back up. It is very hard as one person to do all of these things for the health and the wealth of your business. So I hope you guys found value today. I'm trying to keep it to 10 minutes so that replay on Fridays is not so long. But check out the blog post, shaycannon.com/roles. That's ROLES. I'll put it in the comments later. And let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you found any value. Let me know what flavor tea you're drinking this morning. Okay. So again, I hope you found value. Let me know in the comments. And I will see you in the morning for T minus 10 minutes with Shay, your favorite fractional chief operating officer. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So we are here. It is day 3 of this week for our T minus 10 minutes with Shay, your favorite fractional chief operating officer. And what we do is we gather here every Monday through Thursday morning at 7 a.m. Eastern Time to give you about 10 minutes of business banter, give you a little value so that you can get more in your business, okay? And so that is my mission to help more and more small business CEOs this year. So I am taking to these social media streets in different ways. In fact, while I'm going live with you on video, I'm actually also live on Clubhouse. They are listening in. So how about that for spreading the value? Good morning. Good morning. Oh, you got your tea? Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for joining me. Okay, so let me tell you guys. I always start the week with a blog post, right? And I really try to you good morning. I really try to use that blog post content to spread it across the week, so I don't have to come up with anything else. And you guys are helping me out because your questions are the best, right? This week's blog post, the blog posts they release on Sundays, and I start talking to you about them on Monday, right? So this week's blog post is about the different roles, the different operations roles that you can have in your small business. Okay. So we've been talking about them, we've been describing them, we've been talking about the difference in them, right? So we've been very operations specific. From a COO, a chief operating officer like myself, that mostly takes the CEO's vision and creates a strategic plan and keeps the eye on the execution of the plan to make sure that it stays in line with the vision. Okay, so we do that. That's what I do. Then I can have under me a business manager or a business office manager, something like that. It depends on if you have a brick and mortar or what you're doing, right? So under the chief operating officer would be a business manager. And what that manager does is they drive the dream. Okay. The CEO, has the dream. They're the visionary. The COO plans and is strategic with the dream or the vision. And we make sure that everything stays in line with that vision. So we do a lot of monitoring of the vision, right? But the business manager is down there in the trenches with the doers, right? With the team that actually does the work that is your business. And so they manage, right? They manage the day to day with the team. They manage the people. They manage the data from the team. They manage any, clerical administrative things for the office, the business. Okay. So if you want to look at those operations roles in detail, please check out Monday's broadcast and Tuesday's broadcast and the blog post. The blog post is at shaycannon.com/roles. That's ROLES. I'll put the link in the comments a little later. But today, I want to talk about the different positions in your business in general. And I want to do a shout out to Denise Boggin because she asked me a question yesterday that sparked me to having the content for today. And y'all know I love that, right? So Denise asked, is the position under the business manager a supervisor or a lead? And yes, it's a supervisor or lead. It's like supervisor slash lead. Those are kind of the same. Okay. And do I make up the title based on what they will be doing? That is the key question. Do you make up your titles for your team based on what they will be doing? Okay. Now, my answer to her was in corporate America, when it comes to these operations roles, it does go CEO, then business manager, then supervisor or lead, right? And then you have your team under the supervisor or the lead. But what happens is we entrepreneurs can't necessarily afford all of these roles. So what starts to happen is these titles get smeared. They get smeared, right? So every small business doesn't have a COO in their business. Um, every small business that I work in doesn't have a business manager under me, right? Some of them don't have a lead or a supervisor under me. So what my role will look like will be different in each business I work in based on their team, right? Based on their business model. Now, what I want to talk about is the importance, okay, the importance of naming your team members the right title, okay, naming them the right title. And this is kind of the formula that I want you to use, okay? So when there is a hierarchy of titles for kind of the same thing, right? Because I, as COO, can do everything under me, but the person at the lowest point under me, well, we shouldn't say low, but the person that is closer to the doers, the supervisor or lead can't do everything that I can do. Okay, so do you see how that could be a problem if you trying to be fancy and you want to name your lead a COO just to give yourself some clout? Okay, let me tell you where you're gonna go wrong with that. That person doesn't have the skill set to be a COO, but guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna go and look up the salary for a COO. That might be a zinger to this morning. Let me go ahead and get some tea on that one. Okay. So you have to be careful what you're naming your team members because some of them don't understand everything that goes into doing that title. They will gladly take it, and what they're going to do later on is challenge you on the pay for it because they're going to look it up, right? They're going to look it up. So just so you know, a fractional or any C-suite officer, y'all already know that's 6 figures and above in salary. You already know that, right? So if you want to put a lead as your chief operating officer, they're going to want chief operation officer money and not be able to do the chief operations job. You understand me? So let me give you the general thing that I want you to apply here. Good morning. Good morning. The general thing that I want you to apply is hire someone and give them the title for the highest level of skill that they can apply. Okay? Hire someone for the skill set that is the highest level that they can apply to the job. All right? So, your skill set is that of a business manager. Okay? Don't hire the business manager as a fractional COO, but you can hire them as a business manager. The supervisor, okay, has supervisor level skill set. You hire them as a supervisor or a lead. Okay? They could even be, sometimes we call them account managers because they might have other people under them that does it. Okay? Let me give you another example because let me tell you something. This is one that a lot of y'all are making a mistake on because y'all don't know what it is. Project manager. Okay? That's a buzzword. Y'all don't even know what y'all hiring these people for. And you're calling them project managers. Well, let me tell you something about project managers. Most of them are certified. Doesn't mean you can't be one if you're not certified, but it does mean you still need to have a certain skill set. So a project manager handles a project from beginning to end. So that means they're a part of the budget decisions. They're a part of how you plan it out. They take the project when it first comes in and they form it. Okay, just like I, as the CEO, as the COO, I'm sorry, takes the CEO vision and I form the strategic plan and I take it from there. So does a project manager. They take what the project is and they take it when it first comes in and they run that project. They know the time, they're creating the timeline, they're creating a budget, they're creating the team, everything. A lot of y'all don't have project managers, but you're calling them project managers. Okay? What they really are project coordinators because all they're doing is taking the information that's already been decided, the team that's already been decided, and they're pushing the project along, making sure that it stays on budget, stays on the timeline, everybody gets what they need, and they're the liaison between the company and the vendor and the client. That's a coordinator. They're coordinating the project. I think that y'all are getting too literal with some of this stuff. Y'all look at it as they're managing the project. Well, yeah, in layman's terms, but where you get in trouble is when they start looking up on salary.com how much a project manager makes, and they come to you and they say, hey, why aren't I making this? It's because you gave them the wrong title. Okay, you gave them the wrong title. If they don't have the skill set to start that project from beginning to end with forming everything needed for the project before it goes into the hand of the person pushing the project, they're not a manager, they're a coordinator. Okay, they are a coordinator. So stop being fancy. Mm, Stop being fancy. You don't need validation for your business or yourself as a CEO by using these titles. Okay? Stop doing that. You're putting yourself in trouble. A lot of you are calling yourself a CEO, which means Chief Executive Officer. You can't be chief anything if there's nothing else under you. You need little Indians before you can be a chief. If you're the only one, who are you chief of? Okay, I know that might hurt some feelings. I just want you, we're talking about the real sense of titles, though, right? Feel free to keep calling yourself a CEO in these streets, even though you don't have a team. That's fine. It's a buzzword. But I need y'all to understand the difference between when somebody is using something to be popular or as a buzzword or to be fancy and validate themselves in their business and what it really means. That's what I want for you guys. Okay. So if you have any questions, put them in the comments. You know that I'm going to come through these comments and sweep and thank you all for being here and tell you good morning. I appreciate you joining me every morning. As I told you, I'm trying to keep it to the 10 minutes so that the replay on Friday won't be so long. So that's what I have for you today. Again, shout out to Denise for asking that question that then became today's live. You guys ask questions or put comments in the comments. And hey, who knows? Tomorrow's broadcast could be about what you asked. All right? All right. Y'all guys have a great morning. And I'll see you again in the morning, 7 a.m. Eastern Time for TEA. Drink your tea, bring your tea, minus 10 minutes.
Morning, good morning, good morning. All right. Let me city is city this morning, okay? So did y'all understand that bonus edits is coming alive this morning? I don't even have my glasses on. That's okay. So let me tell you guys something. I hope that you can hear me. In fact, I'm just gonna lean in. I'm gonna lean in so I can make sure that you hear me because I don't know if my earplugs connected. Had a little technical difficulty this morning, but that's all right because we go right on through technical difficulty. So good morning. Welcome to T minus 10 minutes with Shay, your favorite fractional COO, that's Chief Operating Officer. And T is TEA, right? Because you're joining me for my morning tea as I give you a little business banter on the balcony here in Buenos Aires, Argentina. And today is the fourth day. This week is our last day together for T minus 10 minutes. Tomorrow, I will release the replay at lunchtime, okay? Because the replay goes about an hour. I don't expect you guys to join me for an hour first thing in the morning. So what we'll be doing is we'll be releasing the back-to-back replay of everything this week on tomorrow. And I tell you what, let me take you in here with me really quickly. Because I want you guys, everyone who cannot join us in the morning, I want you to be able to watch them. I want you to be able to watch them back to back because what we have been doing is we have been building on the information as we go throughout the week, okay? On Sundays, I release a blog post. And this week, the blog post was about operations roles. So you can find that at shaycannon.com/roles. That's ROLES. And we've been building on that all week, right? So we talked about the different operations roles. We talked about how exactly they look in your business. And today, this is what we're going to talk about today. Because yesterday, we even talked about what you should be naming these roles, right? Because I want my small business CEOs and my entrepreneurs to come away from using titles that are buzzwords, using titles that don't quite match what your team member is doing. I want you to come away from that and do a little more due diligence, right? Do a little more due diligence to find out what is the actual name of these roles, what do those roles actually do, and how much do those roles actually get paid, right? What I talked about yesterday was the fact that some of us are using roles just because we heard it. We think we know what it is, right? So we put it out there, we hire for it. Some of us are using roles to kind of be fancy and validate ourselves in our business. But what you don't understand is when you're using the wrong role, sometimes you're giving someone a title that they haven't earned. But what they're going to go do is go and look for the salary for that title, and they're going to come back and ask you for a raise. Okay? Sit that deep, right? Because they want to be well compensated for the title that you gave them. Because what they don't go look for is what that title actually usually does and realize they're not doing all of those things, right? But they want the money because you gave them the title. So be careful about your titles. That was yesterday. Today, what I want to talk about, and I think this is shout out to Cheryl, I think we were talking about this on yesterday. So she prompted today's subject matter, and that is the fact that when you hire people, okay, we need to do that with intention. Okay, we need to do that with intention. One of the things I have said here on this T minus 10 minutes that if you have a vision, you should hire people from the standpoint of your vision, right? You should hire people with the intention of furthering your vision, getting you where you want to go, getting your company where you want to take it, getting the people that you work for, your clients, getting them their transformation. That's how you want to hire. You want to hire based on your mission and vision. You don't want to hire based on that's your cousin. You don't want to hire based on your sister knows them. You don't want to hire based on that's my friend and she's out of work and I really just want to help. Help her by making more money and giving some donations or something. Don't help her by putting her in your business that's going to break your connection because she's not going to be able to live up to what you need in your business. So stop doing that. That's not always the best way to help, okay? It's not the best way to help to pull your kid who you always having to give money to in your business so that you can give them a salary and they can work off what you already give them. No. Hire and put people in your business to further your mission and your vision, to further what you say your goals are for your company, to further what you say the transformation is for the people that hire you. That's how you hire. Okay, that's how you hire. Now, when you hire, there are a few components going on, right? A few components. Number one, I need you to have a description for this role you are placing people in, okay? I need you to have a description, right? Now, everybody's not hiring W-2 employees, so this is not necessarily, law-driven or legal-driven, but it is intention-driven, okay? So what you want to know in your description of each team member is you want to know what are their duties, what are their responsibilities going to be, what exactly are you going to have them do? That needs to be a part of that description, okay? What exactly do they need to know, okay? What do they need to know? What kind of knowledge do they need to have? Is there certain technology that they need to know? Is there a certain skill set that is a specialized skill set that they need to know, right? Because there are the things that we do, right? And the things we need to know to do them well. So you want to know what are they going to do? You want to know what do they need to know to do it well, okay? Then you want to have those things that make them a certain type of person, right? Do they communicate well? Do they work well with others? That type of stuff, right? So there are certain characters of person that you want them to have. So I've already given you 3 elements to how you're going to describe your roles, okay? What are they doing, okay? What do they need to know to do that well, okay? Who do they need to be to fit in your company and fit in that role better? Those are the 3 things I want you to include in the description for each team member. If you were in corporate America, that would be called a job description, okay? Or a position description. Because you're not giving people jobs if you're hiring contractors, right? You don't have W-2 employees. So you can call it a role description or position description, okay? It's not a job. They're being hired on a contract. There's a difference, right? So I need you to know how to describe them, right? And based on what they need to do, what they need to know, and who they need to be, you should be able to go and do research to find out how much they need to be paid, okay? Stop just hiring these people in positions by your budget. That's why you're getting a bunch of doers. That's why you're hiring people who you thought were thinkers and they get in the role and they can't think. Because guess what? Sometimes you get what you pay for. Okay, Zinker. Sometimes you get what you pay for. So while you out here trying to get all the specialized skills that you need for the little budget that you have, you're going to get what you pay for. Okay? What I want you to start doing is find the role. Figure out how your company can then recruit and pay for the best person for that role to fit in your company so that that role is an asset to your company, okay? Not a deficit to your company. Some of y'all have all of these team members and they're a deficit to your company. They're not filling the roles well. Some of them aren't filling the roles at all, okay? So the position description, the role description is first for you. Help you get your thoughts together. Help you to be organized when you hire this person. Okay? The second part of it is it helps you to hire with intention the skill sets that you need. The third thing is it helps you to go out there and research how much do you need to be paying these people to get the best people in this role. Okay? That's today's T for T minus 10 minutes, right? We want you to hire with intention so that you are setting your business up for success and stop setting your business up for failure by hiring just anybody. Hiring with your heart instead of with your business mission, okay? Put your heart somewhere else, right? That's why there's a saying that says this is not personal, it's business, okay? Business relationships can be personal, but business is business, okay? Business is logical. Business goes by numbers. Business has KPIs or key performance indicators. Okay? The heart doesn't always have that. That's why you stay in love with people you're not supposed to be in love with for a long time, and you stay friends with people you're not supposed to be friends with for a long time. All those things, yeah, that's the personal side that you need to leave out of business. You need to make business decisions based on your mission and vision and your goals for your business, okay? Stop hiring your sister. I understand you're tired of her asking you for money, but she's not qualified for what you need in your business, all right? So I would love to hear, good morning. I would love to hear what you guys think about this. I would love to hear, do you have any stories? Have you hired the wrong person in your business based on your heart and not your mission and vision? How was that experience for you? Let me know if you have job descriptions, okay? That's the corporate version, but position and role descriptions for your contractors. Let me know how much better it was when you had one before you hired, rather than hiring someone and not being very clear and intentional on what they're going to do when you bring them aboard. All right, guys, I will see you live on next Monday at 7 a.m. Eastern Time. Tomorrow is the replay of everything from Monday to today, so I hope you enjoy that replay. The replay will be at lunchtime because it'll be closer to an hour, and I will see you guys in these comments a little later. All right, have a great day. T minus 10 minutes with your girl Shay, your favorite fractional chief operating officer, giving you some business banter from my balcony here in Buenos Aires so that you have a better company, a better experience as a CEO. All right, guys. See you next week. All right, Clubhouse, I'm coming to you guys. I hope you enjoyed that listening room experience. And now I'm coming to you to take your questions live, if you have any, on what we talked about. I hope you were able to catch it all. Wasn't quite looking down.
Good morning. I was trying to hear you and see you. So I'm just gonna let you know. Look, T minus 10. You're gonna have to do it again because Facebook did not hear you.
Oh, they couldn't hear.
Yeah, it was very, very choppy. So that's what you're going to get in the comments. So you will have to do that one again, young lady. But gave some.
That's not a problem. I can do it quickly. Pre-recorded.
I'm trying to help the people. Because you gave some great information. You gave some great information, and I would hate for them not to hear those 3 quick tips that you just gave, because we know that they are tuning in. So you're going to have to jump back on there and give them the 3-minute version. So let them know I'm thinking about them, because everybody's not on Clubhouse. Everybody is not on Clubhouse.
They're not.
Great share today. It was good. And when I thought about it, and I know you said put it in the comments over there, I experienced that in my nonprofit. And when you said about hiring family, that's where I felt the biggest hit, because things as the visionary, it just did not move the way that it shoulda, coulda, woulda, and it did cause for a delay, because based off even what you were saying this whole week, talking about the visionary and what that means for the visionary, but having the people to be the drivers. And so for me, when I think about that, I think about where I felt that biggest hit and pain is with my nonprofit. I see Charlene is up here, and I see Heather is down there too. So I'm gonna let them have a little talk, because I know you don't talk long. I'm releasing my mic.
No problem, no problem. Good morning, Charlene. Did you catch all of it? Do you need the replay? What happened?
Hey, good morning, everybody. I did not catch all of it. I have to catch the replay. But I know I am definitely going to be listening in as I continue to now really work on my business. I've had to solidify a lot of other business aspects of life, and I've gotten over those hurdles. And now I am really working on the foundational part and building up my business. So I will be listening in more attentively to the replays and formulating any questions that I can pose to you on some of your topics that you've been presenting.
Thank you so much. And so just so that you know, because some people think that when they ask me questions, they're taken away from me. Oh, she gets paid for that. I don't want to ask too many questions because I'm not paying her. Your questions help me too, right? It gives me content. It helps me to understand what people need to know more about. So please don't not ask questions, because I know you, Charlene. You are very such a person that's about balance and not taking too much from people. So because you've experienced that, right? So I want you to know, ask me all the questions because they help me too.
Thank you. I just feel over these last several months, I've been an attorney and I've been so much. So now, I definitely like to hopefully balance and share and get some insight from you as I transition, because I'm in a transition mode right now.
Awesome. I'm excited for you. Thank you, Miss Charlene.
Thank you.
Good morning, Heather. Were you over there on Facebook and not hearing me too? I think what I'm gonna do is use the Clubhouse audio rather than try to pull that stuff back out of my brain, because y'all know once I say it, whoop,
it's gone. It's gone. Well, you can't repeat it, right? Because you said it off the top of your head, and then you're like, oh yeah, I can't.
I did.
No, I was not on Facebook. I was perusing TikTok instead of getting my ass in the shower, and saw that you popped up, and I was like, oh, let me see what she's talking about.
So let me tell you what I did, because you might want to use this little strategy, right, Heather? So,
yes,
the first week I did T-minus 10 minutes on Facebook. It was just on Facebook. I was getting acclimated, all of those things. Then I had the bright idea, because the mission, I'm always mission driven, right, is to get the information out to as many people as possible. But I'm not trying to overwork to get the information out, right? So I came up with the idea of having a listening room here on Clubhouse during the live stream on Facebook. So I started here, then I go on Facebook, and then I come back here and answer any questions. Then later I go on Facebook and hit those comments. And so it allows me to use the same broadcast to reach different people. And I'm enjoying it, right? Because my goal of increasing my content starting at the beginning of this month was to re-engage my tribe. And I see y'all. Thank y'all for showing up. And to get to know new people, hopefully like Wanda. Hey, Wanda, I see you down there. And so, it's been working. It's been working very well. People are very engaged. I'm getting more, like I was telling Charlene, I'm getting questions that's helping me to create more content. It's helping me to understand what maybe offers I need to create, all of those things. And so it's truly a mutual give and take going on. And I'm so excited about it. I really am.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah, I think working smarter, not harder is always the way to go, right? Like, why would you double your work to do the same thing, basically, right? The same content out. And plus, you might say something really amazing during your, morning tea, and then you can't remember what it was, right? You didn't write it down, it was on top of your head, whatever. And so now I think that's brilliant. No, that's brilliant.
Look, or Facebook can't hear it, but I have it recorded somewhere else that I could just re-release, right?
Exactly. They don't know, right? Like, they don't know that it's not happening right now. Like, that's cool. No, I like it. I do have a question, if you don't mind.
Okay.
My question is, I'm a solopreneur, the very definition of a micro business. And operations are hard for me. And so I would love to work with you. I can't afford you right now. Because, you are like gold standard, platinum, titanium level, and I don't have that kind of money right now. So I guess I just, like, operationally, is my question. Maybe you can use this for content for other people, right? Like, how do you start doing operations and doing it efficiently and effectively when you are all the things?
All the things, yeah. So where I would start, this is the formula I use for everything. I start with my client journey. I always start, how do people find me to inquire about me? Not just whether they see me and don't do nothing, right? How are they coming into my sphere to inquire about what I offer? That's at the beginning. And at the end is, how do you offboard them after you've completed a service, right? All of those steps in between. I need you to map it out, okay? And you don't have to go use a software or anything like that. Really, all you need is entered by Facebook, you know what I'm saying? And then put an arrow. What's the next step? Put an arrow. What's the next step? Put an arrow. So you're going to go from how they inquire about your service. How do you answer them? How do you onboard them? How do you follow up if they didn't onboard? You know, what are the steps of the onboarding? Okay, what are the steps of the actual servicing of this offer, right? And then what is the steps of how you close out, how you service the offer, right? You need all of those steps. And then I want you to step back and look at it and see, are you missing anything, right? Is that the complete thing, or are you missing anything? Because doing it like that, you should easily be able to see any gaps. The goal is to be as detailed as possible so that you can see everything. So don't stay high level, go into the minutia of it, the detail of it, step by step by step by step. So it's probably best to do it on like a Word document or something that you can backspace, you know, move the cursor and add in. The next thing I want you to do is see, because your processes come with how do you go from one of those steps to the next step, right? What tech can you use should be the first question that you ask yourself, because we hire tech before we hire people. Right. So what tech can you use so that it makes it easier for somebody to inquire, to go from the inquiring to, I don't know what your next step is, but mine would be a discovery call, right? To go from a discovery call to a payment, you know what I'm saying? From a payment to a contract, from a contract to their onboarding meeting. You know what I'm saying? Is there anything that needs to be in between a contract and an onboarding meeting? Yeah, they probably need an email, tell them how to get ready for the meeting. You see where I'm going with this?
Yes.
So the first thing you're going to look for is what tech can you apply? The second thing you're going to look for is if it's some manual stuff in there, what exactly is it? So pull out those manual things. Now, when you look at all the manual things, is that one person? Is that a few people? You know what I'm saying? Is anything in there a specialized skill? Then for things that are a people, you're going to write down how do they do it. So that's what's going to begin your SOPs, right? Mm-hmm. So people try to make operations complicated. That's why some of our small business CEOs are out here thinking they can't do it. It's really just in layman's terms. If people would just use layman's terms, it's only looking at your client journey and seeing how can you service each step of that journey excellently. And what we know is as we grow, we can't serve excellently by ourselves. Okay. But it doesn't mean that for the capacity that we have when we start, that we can't serve excellently just as ourselves. What it means is you can't scale without these things, though, because the more people you get, the less you're going to be able to serve excellently because you're one person.
This is why I can't afford you, but you're amazing.
Thank you.
I'm gonna have to ask her to stop saying that, because you're listening at you. And you don't know when she may be having something that may have some type of payment plan.
You're
so
right.
Don't say that. Just
You're
say
right.
Maybe today that's not in your budget, but say, you know what, it's coming. And you have to.
You're right.
I know you don't mean that. You mean it, but you don't mean it. So
No, you're right. I'm saying it as.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
Don't say that.
Because your cells eavesdrop on your thoughts and your emotions, and they absorb them.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
No, Shawana, thank you. Thank you for that reminder. I often use depreciating humor to deflect from where I really am and how I'm really feeling. So thank you for that reminder. I'm going to definitely be more conscious of that.
Cool beans. Well, all right, ladies, I'm going to end this replay so that I can download it and put it over there on Facebook so those people can see all the amazing things